Hey everyone, it's Paul from Alexandria Knife Sharpening, and believe it or not, we have a fix to the tracking wheel issue on the Toolcker, and you guys are going to love this. We also can thank Michael, my follower again, the one who came up with the belt splitter idea, is the one that found the fix for this wheel. So I'm going to share the fix with you. I'm going to share links where you can find all the stuff that you're going to need. It's literally a 5 or 10 minute job at most. I tested it already and it works great. And let me just get started and show you what you're going to need. So the first thing you're going to have to do is to get your original wheel off. And this can be a little tricky only because, as you can see, it's a little weird in back here how they did this. This is a 1/2 inch nut, and you need a really narrow 1/2 inch wrench to get in there. I don't even bother. What I found works well is to just take an Allen key. I found an Allen key that would fit and kind of wedge that in there, and that gave me enough. It fits. I don't know what size this Allen key is, but it fits enough to hold the nut in place so I can get it off. So just crank off your old wheel. Now, be careful when you get it close to coming off. There's a couple things that happen sometimes. It's easy to drop the washer and nut that are in here. If you're not careful, the washer likes to fall down into this area down in here. I've dropped it down there. It can be a little fun to try and get it back out. So be careful try not to drop your washer down there. If you do, you can fish it out pretty easily with a magnet. But I had it fall down there, and I was like, oh great, I got to go get that out. Now, on your wheel, there will be a spacer, and then you have the shaft for the wheel. You can take your wheel, put it aside. Now, you're going to need either a wheel from Cliff Curry, or if not, you might have some of these. If you're anything like me, if you had old Harbor Freights. Now, I happen to have some wheels for a Wen. And the one nice thing about the Wen that I did like is it actually came with really good wheels. And the Wen wheels will work for this. Here is an original wheel from an old Harbor Freight, or this could be a Wen. I don't know which one it's from because I've converted so many of them. But I kept all my old wheels. But all you need to do, if you look at these wheels, there's a side that has a lip, and there's a side that has no lip. What you need to do is you need to tap out the old bearing and then put in the new one. And it's really quite simple. All you need to do is just take something that you can put in here. I used a little brass hammer that I put on top of it, and then I used just this is an impact hammer, but you could use a regular hammer, whatever you need, and I just gave it a couple whacks, and you'll see it starts to push that straight out. And all you have to do is then just bang it the rest of the way out. There we go. And you can see there's our wheel. And there's you can see the little lip in there that I'm talking about. Then you're going to take the proper size bearing for the Toolcker, and it drops right in. It'll fit right in there, no problem. And then you just got to tap it into place. I'm going to use this nice rubber mallet to get it started and seated. And then I'll just give it a few hits to get it down there into its proper position. And just check and make sure it's properly seated all the way around. And then we're good to go back to our machine and finish up the rest of the change. One thing you're gonna need is a washer. And I will put a link in to the washers. You're gonna need a number 10 metric washer. If you don't have them, they're not expensive. This actually isn't a number 10, but a number 10 is gonna fit a little bit better, but I happen to have this one flat washer, and it was kind of all I had at the moment. I'm gonna order some number 10s for mine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our spacer and our axle. We're going to put that through. We're going to put our washer on because we do need a little space. We're going to need a little bit more space so that this is in the right spot. We got to put our spacer and our washer, okay? Then we push this all the way through like that. Then all you have to do, put your lock washer back on, put your regular 1/2 inch nut back on, tighten that down. I used the Allen key that worked really well. Going to use the same thing this time. So I got my Allen key that I'm going to put in here, and I got my other one for the wheel side, and all I got to do is just crank that down till that lock washer snugs up. There we go. And look at that. Now watch how this runs. So here's a 1200 grit belt. Look how beautiful and smooth. I mean, that's just awesome. So once again, huge thank you to Michael for finding out the appropriate size of the bearing replacement. I'm going to put links in the video description to where you can get them on. They're readily available on Amazon. I found tons of them. So you can get them on Amazon. The only thing is you're either going to need a wheel from an older Harbor Freight, or you can go buy one of Cliff Curry's wheels. He sells these. They're like 16 bucks for one wheel. Unfortunately, I checked and Cliff is currently out of them. So it says out of stock. But he does regularly get them back in. And when he does, they become available. But, you know, worst case scenario, if you already replaced wheels, you can always grab if you kept your wheels like I did, even the older Harbor Freight wheels or the Wen wheels are actually really nice. And that's what I put on here. They actually never needed to be converted. So that's why I use the Wen wheel, because they're pretty much as nice as Cliff's wheels. But you can see how nice that's running. And let me show you the difference on the Scotch-Brite belts. So let's just take our platen off. I'm going to grab the rubber wheel. So there's our rubber wheel. And let's see how much this has improved. Look at that. I mean, that's running absolutely perfectly straight. Let me bring you right in front of it. Is that not great? Look at that. So there we go. There is our Toolcker tracking wheel fix. Once again, like I said, check the description of the video. I will put the links to the appropriate sized bearings so that you can get them for yourself and convert your Toolcker over to having a really great tracking wheel so that you don't have any more tracking problems. And once again, a huge thank you to Michael for again coming up with an awesome fix for all of us out here doing sharpening.